Good afternoon, everyone. I guess welcome to today's presentation. My name is Nikki Itak. I'm actually a corporate office employee of United American Insurance Company. I work for the carrier directly. As you can see, we're in partnership here today with Premier Marketing. Special thanks to Justin for bringing us on board. I know, Justin, I believe you said you kind of wanted to kick us off. Well, I didn't know if you still wanted to.
Yeah, I was just kind of waiting until the 1 p.m. hour, but we can go on ahead and get some stuff started. It just turned 1 o'clock now, so I was waiting to get going. But yes, my name is Justin Reiford. I am the VP of Senior Health Sales here at Premier Marketing. I want to take a moment to thank all of you for joining us today for this training. We believe we've got some outstanding opportunities with United American and Globe Life of New York. Today we're joined by Nikki, and Nikki gave a brief introduction, but I'll kind of let you take it from here, Nikki.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Just a teeny tiny little bit about us. I believe we've had a partnership for some time now. You'll have a lot of home office support with this partnership. You'll have myself. You'll have Steve Syatt, who's on the call with us. He's our Director of New Agents. He handles all of our training and back office supports. Teeny tiny little bit about me. I came from the field. I've been here at United American for roughly about 7 years. I've been in the insurance industry itself for about 14, 15 years. I started as a writing agent. So I just kind of say that to say a lot of us here at corporate come from the field. We have field experience. I hope what you'll notice in today's presentation is a lot of the resources that we pull together come from an agent's perspective. That being said, I'm hoping that it has real impact on how you guys are doing business. So let's talk about some of the benefits of getting appointed today with United American Insurance Company through Premier Marketing. This is what we call a paid direct contract, which means you're still paid directly from the carrier itself. So as you see, we are in partnership today. You have the carrier as well as Premier Marketing. Now your checks say United American Insurance Company right on them. So you're paid directly from the carrier itself. You're also vested from the carrier as well. This is a day one, $1 vesting. So vesting starts right away. It's immediate. You're not sticking around to earn your vesting. You're going to make a lifetime renewal on all the products that you see today. Very specifically, when dealing with our Medicare supplements, we're paying what we call a level for life renewal, and we pay for the life of the business. Now, when we say we pay for the life of the business, we literally mean for the life of the business. So in other words, if you're no longer appointed with us, we will continue to pay. Let's say you're no longer licensed in the state or states that you're operating in, we will continue to pay the renewals. In the event you pass away, you can will these renewals to your given beneficiary. They don't have to have or maintain a license themselves. This is what we call a GA contract. So if you're not familiar with the term, good news is if you've got some folks that are attached to you, if you're looking to build a team in the future, you can do so with this contract. Or you can just simply stay a personal producer. The choice is yours. Either which way, you're not coming in with those production requirements. We've got some great training available to you after you're appointed. One of which being how to sell effectively and efficiently over the phone. I know for many of us, going through 2020 and COVID may have changed the way that we operate our day-to-day business. So if you're looking to get more effective and efficient with selling over the phone, great news is after you're appointed, you've got some back office training and support on how to do just that. This is what we call a non-captive relationship, which simply means this is not going to interfere with any relationships that you currently hold today. And it won't interfere with any relationships you look to build in the future. You're just simply not captive to us. Mind you, like I said before, you don't have any production requirements as well. We will help you with prospecting. Now, we know a good portion of this business is looking for clients, finding clients in order to set up those appointments, getting into sales situations, and then turning those and converting those into sales. So after you're appointed with us, we can actually show you how we can begin to cipher in some new prospects. We do have a free trial with the Turning 65 app after you're appointed if you want to go ahead and reach out to Steve. He can help you out with that as well. And then following today's call, we want to give you full access to our back office website. That's our agent-only website that's going to have all of our training, our marketing, our support, everything you see today and more. Now, if you can, I'd ask you to go ahead and check your email momentarily, because this was sent to you prior to today's call. We sent out an email coming from Agent Automation. I'd like to highlight this to you because this is your key turner, if you will, for getting a hold of everything that you see today and more. This is a quick, easy, 5-minute online contract. The hardest part about this contract is literally finding it. That's it. So the sender, again, right, is coming from Agent Automation. That's the sender on the email. Now, the subject line does read United American Appointment Invitation. If you're using Yahoo, AOL, sometimes those servers, if you don't find it directly in your inbox, you may want to go ahead and look in your spam folder, your junk folder. So if it's hiding on you, chances are it may be in one of those folders. Now, if you happen to use Gmail specifically, Gmail itself has an additional folder called the promotions folder. It can sometimes get stuck there as well. So I do want to give you guys a heads up if you guys are looking for that online contract. It's easy, it's quick, it only takes about 5 minutes, but you may have to kind of look for it a little bit here or there. Once you find it, you don't have to wait for the end of today's presentation to fill it out. I actually encourage you, as we're going through today's presentation, take the 5 minutes and fill it out. So at the end of the call, we can get you those back office support and onto some of the more hands-on type training. Now, following today's presentation, if you do have some questions or if you need some help filling out your contract, my number is listed on the left-hand side. So again, I'm presenting for you today. My name is Nicole. That's my direct line. So that's my company cell as well as my direct email. And Tina Regan, who is one of our assistant directors of recruiting, will be more than happy to help you as well. So you can jot down those two numbers. We should be of help to you. Tina does the majority of our onboarding for a lot of our agents. So she's an expert at getting you onboarded, answering any questions that you may have, so on and so forth. So I'll leave these numbers up just momentarily to give you guys a second to jot those down before we continue forward. I'd like to take a minute just to introduce you to who we are, kind of give you the whole picture of United American, if you will. It's always nice to know a little bit about the company that you're looking to represent, of course, for yourself, but I think even more importantly, maybe for your clients as well. So let's just kind of give you the full intro, if we can, to who United American Insurance Company is. We've got roots going all the way back to the 40s, very specifically 1947. We started as a life insurance company. In 1966, we actually coupled up with the federal government. We helped develop the very first Medicare supplement plan ever. And then since then, we've actually never gotten out of Medicare. You can almost say that nobody's been writing Medicare supplements longer than we have. If you notice, we're also A-rated, and we have been for 45 years by AM Best. We operate as United American Insurance Company throughout the majority of the nation, except for in one state specifically. So if you happen to be in New York, we operate as Globe Life Insurance Company of New York. You'll see that we're A-rated here in New York as well. I say that because that's where I'm physically located. Down below, what you'll notice is our parent company. Globe Life is our parent company and owns United American, as well as Globe Life in New York. I'll kind of show you some of our sister companies at the end of today's presentation. There may be some additional opportunities for you as well, but I do want to point out Globe as our parent company. If you're not familiar with Globe, they're certainly a household name. They've got a tremendous amount of policyholders, about 82 or $80 billion of insurance in force, roughly about 40 million policyholders nationwide. Just a big company, lots of branding, lots of name recognition. They are the official life insurance company of the Texas Rangers. We also have the naming rights to Globe Life Field. That's actually where the World Series was played just a few years ago. If I have any baseball fans on the line, the official life insurance company of the Dallas Cowboys. I know that it is football season, right? So this is kind of an exciting thing to highlight to folks. The official life insurance company, of course, of the Dallas Cowboys. We're super proud of that. Proud sponsor of the FC Dallas Soccer Club. And also, as of recently, a proud partner of the Atlanta Braves. So again, big branding and name recognition. If you're looking for a company that can give you that market saturation, all you simply have to do is point to our parent company. Now, you happen to learn a lot about a company when you go through what we call their service performance record. We liken this, if you will, to something like a report card. So the reason I say that is because it's going to key you in on specific information that's going to give you a bird's eye view. So for example, I want to go through our total claim transactions. We have just over 5,330,000 claim transactions. What I'm highlighting to you here, this is not tied to a dollar amount. I'm not actually highlighting the amount of money that we paid out. What I'm showing you is the volume of claims that were processed within just the last year. If you notice, only about 6,281 of those claims were non-MedSup related. That gives you some very pertinent information. One, our focus is with our seniors, right? Very specifically with our Medicare supplements. And two, that shows you that your senior client is using that Medicare supplement more than any other product in their portfolio. That's why it's extremely important to place this business with a carrier that's going to do right by them. Our customer service calls are just over 720,000 customer service calls as well. I think this is even more of a highlight today than maybe it was even a few years ago. As we've seen in our industry, a lot of companies beginning to outsource more and more. The good news about United American Insurance Company, all of our customer service calls are answered within our corporate offices. And we have 2 corporate office locations, one in Syracuse, New York, and the second one is in McKinney, Texas. Now, if you're not familiar with exactly where that is, that's right outside the Dallas area. So every single customer service call is answered within our corporate office. We do not outsource. They're answered within 20 seconds of dial time. 98% of those calls are answered live by an actual representative within 20 seconds of dial time, and 100% have first call resolution. Just simple old-fashioned customer service that your clients are really going to value. Again, that's something that you guys don't have to worry about and focus on. You guys can focus on the other legs of the business, booking appointments, writing business, knowing that the company that you represent is going to do right by your clients. Now, if you take notice to our calendar days on the left-hand side of the screen, we process our Medicare supplement claims in roughly about 1.87 calendar days. Now, I highlight calendar days again to you guys very specifically, right? Because business days and calendar days look very differently. So calendar days, of course, include your weekends, your federal holidays, all of that included is when we talk about calendar days. Policies are issued in fair time as well. So about 3.5, if you will, a little less than that, calendar days, if you're still using pen and paper, right? So if you're using paper applications, this is roughly your anticipation. Now we can get this knocked down for you guys as well. If you're open to maybe using e-applications, I'll cover that with you a little bit further on the presentation. Now within these next couple of slides, as we go over some of these key concepts, I want you to understand if you need some help or maybe some additional training on any of these concepts here, that's okay. After you're appointed, you have unlimited access to our back office. You can do as much training with us as you want, but really for the purpose of today's call, I'm going to speak kind of generally, as well as we may go a little bit quicker through these next couple of slides just to make sure that we're out on time today. So again, if you feel as if I'm going a little bit quicker, or if you feel as if you need more training on some of these key concepts, that's okay. After you're appointed and you're on that back office website, you can do as much training as you want. But let's go ahead and jump into this time frame here that's actually coming up on us quicker and quicker and quicker by the second and by the day. I'm talking about the Medicare annual election period that a lot of us refer to as AEP. This is a time frame per year that runs between October 15th through December 7th. And this is a time that your seniors can switch from their Medicare Advantage plan onto original Medicare. That's a sales scenario you may come across. Remember, once they have original Medicare, right, they can then buy a Medicare supplement. You may stumble across a sales scenario such as they have original Medicare and they may be making the change and going on to a Medicare Advantage plan, or you may see them going from one Advantage plan to a different Medicare Advantage plan. But I want you to understand when dealing with a Medicare supplement plan, this is not a guaranteed issue timeframe. So your client still has to qualify health-wise. Talk about some of the reasons seniors sign up for Medicare Advantage plans. More often than not, I think most people tend to think it's due to the cost, or a cost factor is what I should say. My personal opinion is due to lack of information, or maybe I should say maybe not enough information is more of a fair statement. Let's talk about some of the pros if you can, some of the pros and cons in between or versus a Medicare Advantage plan versus a Medicare supplement. So some of the pros, there may be some additional benefits. Now, when I say additional benefits, I mean a Silver Sneakers program. Now, if you're not familiar with what that is, basically like a gym membership. As mentioned, they may have lower premiums. In some cases, there may be no premium at all, right? We've seen zero premium plans. However, some of the cons is that there's other out-of-pocket expenses, which includes coinsurance, as well as deductibles. They're in-network only. They're not guaranteed renewable. Remember, they are one-year contracts. The doctor can leave the network. The hospital can also leave the network. And we've also seen carriers that pull out of entire markets, or they can pull out of entire markets. You know, ultimately, the senior may lose coverage. Now, don't get me wrong. If the senior were to lose coverage, they're not stuck without any option and go on to a different Medicare Advantage plan, or they can come over to what we sell, which is a Medicare supplement plan. So why sell Medicare supplement insurance? You've got access to the same market, such as that baby boomer market. You have more than 250,000 Americans turning 65 every single month. That breaks down to about 10,000 Americans turning 65 every single day. If you are looking for a market, right, that has a lot of opportunity, an area of opportunity where your client has a need, knows that they have a need, that opens up to more sales opportunities, hey, you may want to go ahead and consider that Medicare supplement market. You can sell Medicare supplement insurance all year round. You're not limited to specified selling seasons. You do not need a scope of appointment. Now, if you're familiar with the Medicare market at all, you're familiar with that term scope of appointments, right? It's quite literally written consent to market the client. You do not need that when selling a Medicare supplement. You do not need any additional certification. So there's no certifications required. In other words, you're not doing AHIP every single year. Now remember, when doing AHIP, you're not only doing it to sell the product that year, but you're also doing it to keep those renewals coming in. You do not need AHIP certification when selling a Medicare supplement. And ultimately, by giving your client those options, you are protecting your existing book of business. So let's talk about how they compete as well. And when your client has a Medicare supplement, they have the freedom to choose. There are no network restrictions. So I'll say that again because I often get that question. When your client has a Medicare supplement, they have the freedom to choose. They do not have network restrictions. They can then go to any doctor, any hospital, and there's no referral process to see a specialist. They can go anywhere that accepts original Medicare today, which is the majority of facilities. I do want to take a moment to motivate you guys financially as well. More often than not, as we have interactions with agents and talking to agents day in and day out, there's a couple of key things that get them in the insurance industry and then keep them in the insurance industry, right? So I kind of want to focus on what keeps you in the industry and what keeps you going. So I want to highlight the fact that we're the only carrier in the entire nation that will pay you a level renewal for the life of the Medicare supplement business. In other words, we're paying a year one commission for the life of the Medicare supplement business. I'm going to show you an example on what that looks like. In this example, I'm going to take our commission and renewal structure, and I'm going to compare that to what we consider to be industry standard. So brand X is going to be industry standard. Now, I do know that not every contract works the same. So if you have a contract out there that doesn't work the way that brand X outlines, that's okay. I understand there is definitely variety in our industry, especially if you've been in the industry for over 5-10 years. You'll have some differing contracts, right? You may have a contract out there that does pay you a lifetime renewal. More often than not, in those, what happens is they pay out the bulk of the commissions up front. It trickles down over time. You may have a contract out there that pays you a 10-year level renewal. Not as common, but I have seen them. But specifically, when dealing with Medicare supplements, what we usually see is a 6-year level renewal. That's what we'll use in our example today. Let's say you have $500 in commissionable income and you place it with brand X. Brand X is then going to pay you for the next 6 years $500. So your overall renewal with which you would have earned is $3,000, which is not too bad, right? But if you only change one small thing in this dynamic, and it's nothing crazy, right? It's just one small thing, and you just simply change who you place that business with, and you put that same $500 in commissionable income with United American Insurance Company, we would have paid you $10,000 of overall renewals. You can almost say, by not placing that business with us, you're missing out on $7,000 of renewal income. And I think we can all agree the average life expectancy of a 65-year-old, right? According to Social Security admin, the average 65-year-old male alive today is going to live to be about age 84. Now, his counterpart, the average 65-year-old lady, still be about age 87. About 25% of the 65-year-olds alive today will live past age 90. There's a couple of reasons as to why that may be. We can kind of all hypothesize. I'm not a doctor. It could be know better, do better. It could be modern medical advancements, so on and so forth. What I want you to focus in on and what I really want you to pull from this slide is imagine selling a policy one time and getting paid renewals for the next 20 years or longer. I will show you what a level renewal example can build up to be or what it can look like for you. Now, I know everybody on the call is independent. You sell multiple products with multiple companies. Of course, you have to. Now, I just kind of want to key in and focus in on the opportunity with our Medicare supplements and the impact that it can have on your renewals. So in this example, let's say you do about $50,000 of first-year commissions, and you're simply going to stay consistent, and you're going to duplicate that over the course of the next 10 years. I want you to understand that you would build up $500,000 of annual renewals coming into you every single year. Or how does this sound? $41,000 of monthly renewals being paid to you every single month. Now, of course, you have to take out your persistency. So that's those who are going to pass away and fall off the books. So in other words, your deaths and your lapses. Good thing about this product set with our company is that we do have a very high persistency ratio. Don't forget, you're vested. Day one, $1. You're paid for the life of the business. So in this example, it translates, we're paying $41,000 of monthly renewals every single month. Remember, before you write another piece of business and you're no longer appointed with us, we're still paying. We're paying $41,000 of monthly renewals and you're no longer licensed. We're still paying. We will pay $41,000 of monthly renewals even in the event you pass away and you've willed it to your beneficiary. They do not have to have a license themselves in order to keep these renewals coming in. What I want to highlight to you guys is that we actually have a personal producer who's only been with our company for about 7 years, who's got about a 7-figure renewal income as well. Now, if you are new to Medicare on this next slide, I don't want you to be overwhelmed. However, I do kind of want to highlight what is available through United American. We offer 10 out of the 11 standardized plans. The chances are if you're selling it outside of us today, you'll find it here with United American and be able to sell it with us. The one plan that you will not see or recognize up here is M Like Mary. I don't know too many folks who sell it and offer it and really specialize in it, but I figured just in case you were looking for it, I'd give you a heads up. That's the one plan we don't have. However, you'll see G up here. We sell and offer the G plan, the N plan, the HDG, so on and so forth. As I said before, if you're new to Medicare, I don't want you to be overwhelmed on this slide. We will simplify this for you. Really, our process of simplification is very easy. We focus in on what's most commonly sold. You don't have to know and master every single one of these plans, right? For us, like I said, we focus in on what's most commonly sold. And for us, that's two plans. That's Plan G and an offshoot of Plan G called the HCG. I'm going to go through this in detail with you. As you see here, these are the two comparison charts, or the benefit charts is what I should say. Plan G today is considered the most comprehensive plan on the market for those who are new to Medicare. That's Plan G. So the HCG, really basically, if you look at this chart, is basically the same plan with one slight difference. So as you see, they both cover Part B coinsurance at 100%. These two plans, I always like to highlight this, these two plans are what cover excess doctor charges. If you're not familiar with what an excess doctor charge is, it is the percentage above Medicare assignment, okay? So these two plans cover that excess doctor charge at 100%. They cover foreign travel and emergency at 80%. Here's where you find the one small difference. Down here at the calendar year deductible. The Plan G has a calendar year deductible of $226. Now the HCG shows a deductible of $2,700. This is more of a max out of pocket. We're going to go through this concept momentarily. First, I want to make sure everybody understands original Medicare. Original Medicare being Part A and Part B. Now this sales tool right here, this is probably my favorite sales tool available to you for presentation-wise, right? If you're doing a live presentation yourself and you're sitting down with your clients, I think that this really, really helps you. One, I think it helps the client understand how original Medicare works. Two, I think this is very easy to present. If you notice here, this isn't branded. It doesn't have or say our logo on it. We're going to ship this out to you after you're appointed. It's going to come in your welcome box. If you don't want to wait for it, jump onto the back office as soon as you get your agent number. You can print this right off. And all of our top producers use this. Use this in your presentation. Like I said, this is not branded. So no matter what, you can use this in your presentation if you're talking to prospective clients. So it's good to have. It's definitely good to use. Let's cover Part A first off. First and foremost, Part A has to do with hospital insurance for confinement in a hospital or skilled nursing facility per benefit period. For example, Mr. and Mrs. Client, when you're hospitalized from 1 to 60 days, you have a deductible. In other words, you pay $1,600. And after that, from 61 to 90 days, you have some coinsurance. It's $400 a day of coinsurance. It can incur up to $12,000 of cost, right? Don't you see why it's so important to have a Medicare supplement? Take your head up and down. Flip over the chart and let's talk about Part B. Part B has to do with medical insurance and covers physician services, outpatient care, tests, and supplies. Now, Part B has a deductible of $226. After that, Medicare picks up 80% of the approved charge. I want you to remember this going forward. This is going to serve you. Medicare always pays their portion first. Okay, so I'll say that again. Remember, Medicare always pays their portion first. So after that, 80% is picked up by Medicare, and 20% is then passed on to the client. Now, do you think the majority of Medicare claims today in 2023 are coming from Part A side of Medicare or Part B side of Medicare? If you answered the Part B side of Medicare, you're absolutely correct. The majority of Medicare claims today are coming from Part B side of Medicare. We'll actually go through a claim example. In this example, I want you to assume that your client has our HDG plan. I also want you to know that your client has also paid the Part B deductible. Okay, so they've kicked out that first $226. Now they're going to the doctor. That approved doctor claim is $100. Does anybody know how much Medicare is picking up? Remember, they have our HDG. Medicare always pays their portion first. Okay, in this example, Medicare picks up 80%, or in this example, $80, which means the client is then only responsible for that $20 out of pocket. That is then applied to the max out of pocket. And that's why we say this is more of a max out of pocket. This is not a true deductible. If for some reason that client hits that max out of pocket, right, they don't owe anything else going forward. I just kind of want to make sure everybody understands this concept, right? This is why we say this is more of a max out of pocket. This is not a true deductible like you and I know a deductible to be. So for example, it's not a deductible like it is on maybe like, let's say your car insurance or maybe your traditional medical insurance. Take mine, for example. I have an individual plan. My deductible is $2,400, which means I have to first pay that full $2,400 out of pocket first before I go to my 80-20 split. And then I even have a max out of pocket on top of that. That is how a true deductible works, right? This, because Medicare always pays their portion first, really functions more like a max out of pocket. That's why it's actually very hard to hit the max out of pocket on this plan. We've only been able to come up with a few basic ways for the client to actually do so. So the first scenario is that they would have to spend the night in the hospital 2 separate times with at least 60 days apart from each visit in the same calendar year. Second scenario, your client would have to spend the night in the hospital 63 consecutive days in a row in the same calendar year. Now, personally, I don't know anybody in my life that has actually come close to that. Third scenario is that they have a hospital stay of at least 3 days and enter a skilled nursing facility within 30 days of discharge for 26 or more days. Fourth scenario, they have a combination of a hospital stay and about $3,500 in Part B charges in the same calendar year. Now, if there were to be a more probable scenario, I believe scenario 4 would fit that description. This would be the more probable. 5, they have no hospital stays, but they have about $10,000 in Part B charges in the same calendar year. So I asked you guys a question on the call today, right? And this is what you would ask your clients, such as, Mr. and Mrs. Client, after having this HCG plan in force for about the next 10 years, right? After seeing what would have to happen to you in order for you to hit that max out of pocket, how often do you think you would hit the max out of pocket on this plan? And all you do at this point in your presentation, just simply write down their response, because their response is going to help you close the sale. More often than not, what you're going to hear from your clients after seeing this, they're going to tell you, I'm not hitting that max out of pocket. If I do once, maybe twice in the course of 10 years. Great thing about this plan is the average premiums. So back when it was first available with United American, excuse me, back in 2010, it was about $55 a month on average nationwide for the female, about $61 a month nationwide for the male. Fast forward, right, 10, 12, 13 years down the road, you're actually looking at this graph correctly. It has gone down in premium, about $33 a month nationwide for the female, $37 a month nationwide for the male. Pause and consider that for a moment. We're talking about a Medicare supplement plan with no network restrictions, guaranteed renewable, with a max out of pocket $2,700 for only about $37 a month. Excuse me. Do you think you can sell something like this? Majority of people say yes. This also allows a product to be very sustainable for your client as well. So take in consideration, a lot of your Medicare clients or a lot of your Medicare supplement clients have more than one need. They don't just need a Medicare supplement. They may need some additional life insurance, and they have other gaps in their portfolio. We have a concept here called one package, one price, where we can give your client very affordable coverage, as you can see here, with great actual coverage. And by maybe taking some of that premium, putting it in different products as well, you can better serve the client. And even take in consideration some of the things that we've seen within the last few months. Inflation, we see it rise, we see it fall, right? Having something sustainable for your senior client can help them in the long run. Remember, this is not about just being affordable today, but being sustainable for your senior in the future. This opens up some options for them. Let's go ahead and take a look at some premium savings. I'm going to actually highlight to you guys average premium savings for this, but I will go into some specifics. I know that last time we were all together, we had some interest in New York specifically. So I have some information about New York, what premium savings looks like here as well. So I'll cover that with you guys as well. All we're simply going to do is we're going to do some very simple math with your client. We're going to take either what they are paying for a G plan or what they would pay, and we're just simply going to subtract our monthly premium from that, right? And that's going to give you their monthly savings or their proposed monthly savings. So the wife could save $87 a month by simply switching to our HDG. The husband could save over $100 a month by simply switching to our HDG. And let's multiply that out for the year. The wife can potentially save over $1,000 a year by simply switching to our HDG, and the husband can save over $1,200 a year. Collectively, as a household, you're talking about $2,000, almost $300 of savings. And just quantify that for them as well, right? Mr. and Mrs. Client, could you be interested in saving potentially around $23,000 over the course of the next 10 years by having a very important conversation with me about your Medicare supplement needs? I know I would at least want to book the appointment with you and hear what you had to say. Now, specifically, right, I told you I'd give you some statistics or some insight, if you will, on what the market looks like in New York. And I say that because last time we were all together, there was some very specific interest in New York. But I want you to know here in New York, the premium savings is over that max out of pocket. Okay, so that $2,700, when clients switch the HDG, okay, we call it the G Plus in New York, they save over that max out of pocket. And it's a huge premium savings. Now, we've heard through some agents, right, that New York is going through some changes. Now, out of the carriers here, and like I said, we've seen some changes. We've heard that some carriers have cut down commissions. There are some specific carriers that are cutting out commissions altogether, right? And we've even heard that some carriers are filing for big rate increases, something around 66%. So again, this isn't something that we can say for sure, but as we've been out in the field very recently with agents doing work, we do see that New York is going through a lot of changes. But like I said, the one thing we do know for sure is premium savings in New York is over the max out of pocket. Okay, so they're saving more than that $2,700. So the opportunity in New York specifically is even greater. So the question is, for clients, why would you pay $1,200 or more to cover a possible loss, or as you and I saw, a very unlikely loss of $2,700, right? Maybe if you had some additional information, maybe you would make a different decision, or at the very least, right, you would make an informed decision. And that's what this is about, is giving your clients the right information so that they can then make an informed decision, what's best for them in their household. We have a phrase here that's called, why fight it when you can write it? If at the end of the presentation, your client picks a G plan, by all means, write them up that G plan. What you know is that they've then made an informed decision. When they pick what's best for them, chances are it stays on the books longer, right? That's what you want. You want your clients to make those informed decisions. So let's go ahead and look at claims data, if you will. This is real live data. So what are your clients experiencing, right? This answers that question. What's the real data behind this? This is data from our company. As you know, we've been in business for a long time, so this is real life claims data from United American. So what we see from our clients is everybody in between the ages of 65 to 67, 85% of this population only has an average of $609 that they're spending out of pocket on their Medicare claims per year. Folks in between the ages of 68 to 72, 79%. So again, we're talking about the majority here. 79% of this age demographic is only spending about $725 per year on their Medicare claim. And everybody 73 years old and older, 70% of this age demographic. Mind you, we put everybody who's older than 73 and we group them into this age block here. Okay, so if they're in their 90s, if they make it into their 100s, and even still, we're at 70% of this age demographic is only spending about $810 per year on their Medicare claims. So the question is no longer, why are you spending $1,100 a year every single year, $1,200 a year to cover a possible loss of $2,700? If we go with probability and with the math shows, why are you spending $1,100, $1,200 every single year to cover a possible loss of $609, right? In the youngest age bracket, 85% experience this. Or maybe you're a little bit older, right? Why are you spending $1,200 a year every single year to cover $725? Or at the eldest age bracket, you're spending $1,200 a year every single year to cover a loss of $810, right? Again, that concept is allowing your clients to make an informed decision. Now, we have more than one way to help the clients as well. So this annuity that I'll show you here is exclusive to United American Insurance Company. So it has to be sold with United American Insurance Company. It must be coupled up with one of our Medicare supplements. So this is not a standalone annuity. It must be sold with one of our Medicare supplements. It is very easy for your clients to open as well. So only $50 in minimum deposit, very accessible. I think the majority of clients that you come in contact with can open this annuity. It's very easy for them to open such a small deposit amount, right? Now it does have a lifetime max. Can't put any more than $20,000 in here. However, there's no lock-in time for deposits. What that means is it's liquid money. In other words, your client can access the money in this annuity for any reason at any time. So it's liquid money. Then we're going to guarantee a 3% interest rate. It can go higher. I haven't seen it go higher in quite some time, but that guaranteed minimum is going to be 3%. Now, if you have guaranteed 3% on liquid money, when you're dealing with somebody who's just retired, oftentimes, but just having these conversations, you can fall into other sales, especially if you are doing annuity business. If you're really doing annuity sales, imagine telling a client who just retired, hey, I can give you 3% on liquid money, but I can't take any more than $20,000. Now, we've seen with agents who use this, right, they kind of fall into those other sales because the clients will say, hey, I just retired. I've got way more than $20,000. What else can you do for me? So it's kind of just enticing that conversation. Remember, this has to be sold with our Medicare supplement. This is not a standalone annuity. It can also pay the out-of-pocket costs on the HDG automatically. So as far as the client's concerned, when you couple this up with the HDG that we just saw, it can function like the most comprehensive plan with about a fraction of the cost, right? So this is a great sale when you couple it up with the HDG. It can be sold with the G. As you can see, K and L as well. We just added Plan N last year, so it can also be sold with Plan N. As I said, we're always looking for other ways to help your client. So for example, on the 2nd year anniversary date that your client has this HDG plan in force, they can convert it to any other plan that they wish. Okay, so they can convert it into a G plan, into an N plan, so on and so forth. On that 2nd year anniversary date, they have that HDG in force. They can then convert it into any other plan that they want. They do not have to prove insurability. So there's no underwriting or health questions. It gives you a very unique opportunity. You want to make sure you're reconnecting with those clients, making sure that you're still meeting their needs, that they're happy. Hey, you may be able to pick up other products in the household and may be happy with the product that you put on the books. They may want to give you referral business as well. This is a great opportunity to reconnect with those clients, maybe do some cross sales within the household or potentially outside of that household. What this is going to do is make sure that you're staying in contact and you're building those relationships, those necessary relationships with your clients. I do want to cover open enrollment if we can. So this is your client's eligibility period. So open enrollment within Medicare supplement, okay? Remember, this is your client's eligibility period. This is 6 months following initial Medicare Part B enrollment. Typically happens at age 65, right? Or it can happen older than the age of 65. Maybe the client delays enrolling in Part B. Maybe they're on that employer plan longer. The key point here is it has to do with when your client is enrolling in Part B for the first time. They can enroll in Part B under the age of 65 as well due to a disability. Again, the key component here that I want you to take from this slide is when your client is enrolling in Part B for the first time. This is a guaranteed issue timeframe, which means your client does not have to answer any health questions. Okay, they qualify. They're not answering any health questions on the application. Applications with United American Insurance Company can be taken up to 6 months prior to open enrollment. We're giving you about a 3-month advance jump on basically everybody else in the industry to get to that client first, have meaningful impacting conversations, write that business with United American Insurance Company, and earn level for life renewals. As we go through these next couple of slides, I'm going to show you a couple of different things. One, some of the additional products available through United American. Okay, so I want to make this distinction now. Your one appointment with United American Insurance Company, as long as your life health license, gives you access to our entire line of Medicare supplements, as well as our additional products. So we can be your one-stop shop. I'm also going to show you a unique opportunity with our sister company. So if you already have United American and you're like, I already have this in my product portfolio, I just have to use it more, but I'm also open to additional opportunities. Sit tight, okay? I'm going to show you some additional opportunities with our sister company. So I want to make that distinction, okay? So, but again, for the purpose of right now, focusing specifically on United American, your one appointment with us, as long as your life health license gives you access to our entire line of Medicare supplements, as well as our additional products, which include lump sum cash cancer plan, final expense, juvenile whole life, critical illness, accident coverage, and supplemental health. I'll cover these very briefly with you guys. I want to be sensitive to our time, but I do want to highlight some of the additional products. So final expense, I think everybody knows why final expense can be such a great add-on, especially if you're already dealing with the senior market. Whether you're dealing with the senior market in Medicare supplements or Medicare Advantage plans, the point is you're dealing with that senior market. Oftentimes, those folks have other needs. We kind of touched on that briefly earlier. One of those other needs that we commonly see is the need for some additional life insurance. Now, life insurance that's specifically geared towards the senior market, whole life insurance that's designed for the senior market, is called final expense. Ours is simplified issue. I think that's one of the biggest selling features on our final expense. We have got about 7 yes or no health questions on our application. We do not ask about high blood pressure. Our benefit amounts are going to range between $1,000 to $25,000. You can add in about increments of 1,000. A little different, I know, but it is highly customizable. Our issue ages are from 50 to 80. It comes with a terminal accelerated benefit rider at no extra cost. This basically means if the client is diagnosed as terminal, they can take a portion of the proceeds while they're alive. Okay, this is what we call a living benefit. Like I said, this is a simplified issue plan. It also has a graded benefit available as well. I love our graded benefit. I think it's just phenomenally usable for your clients. If you're interested in it during Q&A, we can kind of go over some specifics. But in my personal opinion, I think our graded benefit gives the client way more value than what they're used to. Juvenile whole life is one of our top sellers as well. I think, again, probably because you're still touching that same market, right? Grandparents love to leave a legacy for their grandkids. So again, when you think of juvenile whole life, what you're really kind of thinking of is a grandparent or parent leaving a legacy or giving a gift, right? We all know that this time of life, from that 0 to 18, it's usually easier to qualify for life insurance or things like insurances, including life insurance. And it's going to be the most affordable. Now, our benefits range between $1,000 up to $25,000. Our prices are phenomenal. When I go through this policy, honestly, I always encourage you to talk about $25,000 because dollar per thousand, we just can't be beat. I actually haven't found a company yet, right? And I could be wrong, but I haven't found a company yet that beats us on cost. Cost isn't anything, value is, but dollar per thousand, we can't be beat. Issue ages, of course, are going to differ, right, than the product that we just went over. So 0 to 18, think grandparents can buy this on grandkids, parents can buy this on kids. You put 5 kids on one application, everybody gets their own policy. It comes with that terminal illness rider at no extra cost. Remember, here's where the value is. It's whole life insurance, which means the cost is not going up, the coverage is not going down. It has what you call non-forfeiture options. I'm going to encourage you, after you're appointed, get onto the back office, learn about our non-forfeiture options, because understanding how those work can help you sell a higher face value amount. It builds a cash value, a paid up insurance value, and extended term options. This policy has built-in value. When you talk to your clients about this, it basically sells itself. Like I said, dollar per thousand, I haven't found anybody that's beat us yet. So great value. It's a great way to pick up some additional sales. This next product I'll cover with you guys is really, if you will, our catch-all product. What I mean by that is, unfortunately, cancer does not discriminate. Okay, so no matter what market you're coming from, PNC, maybe the senior market, maybe the underage market as well, right? We've all seen somebody in either one of those age brackets that has been affected by or diagnosed with cancer. So we've seen seniors, folks of working age, and unfortunately children as well. So I say this is our one catch-all product. I believe if you have a Life Health license, you should probably have some cancer coverage for your clientele. I just think it's good safekeeping. According to the American Cancer Society, cancer is one of the leading causes of bankruptcy in the U.S. So there's a lot of need for cancer coverage. Ours is a first diagnosis cash benefit, which means upon initial diagnosis, we then pay out a lump sum. So the benefit amount can range, of course, between $10,000 to $50,000. Your clients just pick whatever suits them in their household. Once they're diagnosed, then we pay out the entire proceeds. They do not have to be hospitalized. They do not have to go through specified treatment. So again, it's very, very usable. Our issue ages are from 0 to 69 throughout the majority of the nation, except for you folks who are in California. Okay, a little special, 0 to 64. Great commissions on this plan, lifetime renewals, very easy application. Only about 3 health questions on the app. We do not even ask about family history, and there is no tobacco question, okay? That means your tobacco users are not paying more in premium. Like I said, this is a great policy to have in your back pocket. We do a lot of training on this as well. So hopefully it can help you pick up some additional sales. Now, before I go to the next slide, I'm going to tell you, this is all with United American Insurance Company. Okay, so if you're not yet appointed with United American Insurance Company, remember, under your one appointment, not only do you get the Medicare supplements, you get all these additional products. Now, you may already be appointed with United American Insurance Company, and you may just say to yourself, I need to use some of these products a little bit more, but you may be looking for an additional opportunity. So I'm going to introduce you to our sister company. I want to make that very clear, right? We've talked about United American. Obviously, there's a tremendous opportunity with United American. But for those of you that may operate in some key states, I'm going to highlight them to you now. If you have a resident license or a non-resident license in one of these key states, I want you to tune in a little bit closer, okay? So there's an extra opportunity with our sister company, Globe Life and Accident, within these 7 key states, being Illinois, Indiana, Kentucky, North Carolina, Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Tennessee. As long as you have a license, whether it be resident license or non-resident license, you can pick up on this additional opportunity. Globe Life and Accident, like I said, is our sister company. They're owned by Globe Life as well. Their focus is specifically Medicare supplements. Now, this used to be direct-to-consumer only, okay? So Globe Life and Accident is not new to the market. They've got over 55 years of experience, okay? So again, not new to the market, but it used to be just as direct-to-consumer. Now, in these 7 key states, if you're licensed there, you get access to Globe Life and Accidents product at direct-to-consumer pricing. That's why this is such a great opportunity if you hold one of these licenses. So some of the key things that we want to highlight here. Our top producers, we're looking for some additional competitive advantages. Globe Life and Accident does have a household discount available, all right? Globe Life and Accident also pays a first-time buyer boost in commission. So there's a little bit of a bonus for a first-time buyer. And the first-year commission comp rate is a little bit higher as well. So when you look at Globe Life and Accident and you compare us to other peer carriers in these 7 states, what you want to do is make sure that you're taking into account a couple of key things. One, tenure, okay? So their time in industry is comparable to ours, and we want to make sure that there are other A-rated companies as well. So when we're comparing our rates, not that rates are everything, but remember our aim here is to be competitively priced as well as sustainable. You want to compare us to those other companies who are also A-rated and will also have time in the market. So you're going to find a state here that you might be interested in. I'm going to take, for example, Pennsylvania. When compared to other A-rated companies, what you'll see is that right here in Philly, for example, rates for a male, this is a non-tobacco rate, so age 65, can range, right, between $154 up to about $166. Now, granted, I want to give you guys a heads up. This is without the household discount. So again, it can be anywhere between 154 up to 166, 176, right? This is what the average is to other peer carriers, other carriers that are A-rated and have some time in the industry. You see where we are competitively priced at 144. These are actual rates from our competitors. Naturally, we can't name them on today's call, but these are real live rates, real live rate examples. Very similarly, for the female turning 65, again, what you'll see is it'll be anywhere between $134 in premium, 143, 150, 153, upwards towards 181. Okay, you can see where we are in the market. As I said before, this is without the household discount. So again, our goal in these 7 key states, you get access to direct-to-consumer prices with a carrier that's been selling Medicare for a very long time. So it's a very tenured carrier, A-rated. You have competitive prices, and it's designed to be sustainable. Let's talk commissions if we can. Now, because you guys are getting introduced to us through Premier Marketing, you've got a unique opportunity. You're on today's webinar, you're going through Premier. There's a unique opportunity because we usually start folks at level 1. But because you're going through Premier, the opportunity with them is vast, right? They're going to start you off at a level 4. All right, so if you're working with a first-time buyer, in other words, somebody new to Medicare, right? We're bumping up that commission rate for you, 22%. You're going to get a 10-year trail. Now, if you're doing replacement business, it's 18%. But again, this is designed to give you some great commission with a very competitive plan who has a unique opportunity because it's new to agents, not new to the market. Remember, new to agents. It's a great way to get on with a great opportunity. It's a special offer. Here's some examples of a first-time buyer commission. So I wanted to kind of give you guys some examples here. First is like replacement business. What I really want to highlight to you guys is the opportunity, not just for your G plans and your N plans, right? But if you are selling like an HDG, which is also available through Globe Life and Accident, it usually has that smaller premium and not giving up commission. So let's go ahead and just kind of take a peek if we can. So for the first time buyer, if you're selling a G plan, you're roughly going to earn, depending on where you are, of course, about $354, right? For the first time buyer, you're getting that boost in commission, about $289 on a replacement plan. But what I really want to highlight, you're selling a premium for about $44 a month on the HDG, you're still getting a great commission. So even with the first time buyer, it's about $232. But here's where I really want to highlight, on your replacement business, it's just about as much as if you were to sell a G plan. So this gives you an additional opportunity to save your clients some premium and still get a great commission. There's what we call the batter up incentive with Globe Life and Accident as well. Basically, to simplify this incentive, we're giving you an opportunity to earn up to $2,500 in Amazon gift cards. Really, all you have to do and focus on is simply sell a Globe Life and Accident policy all 12 months. So it can be as little as one policy a month. You're going to earn yourself $2,500 in Amazon gift cards, and you can even earn an invitation to watch a game at our Globe Life field. It's a pretty cool incentive. Let's go ahead and talk about sales and marketing support too. So after you're appointed, we do have introductory offers available to you. Remember, this now is on the United American side. So you can hold a dual appointment. I do want to give you that heads up. You can do both UA and GLA, okay? But after you're appointed with us, and if you're looking to drum up some business, we have some introductory offers for you as soon as you're appointed. Our memorial guide, our accidental death benefit. I'll just skip and go right to my personal favorite, which is our accidental death benefit before we close. This gives you an opportunity to write this on pretty much anybody you come across. Issue ages are from 18 to 68. There's no health questions. Everybody qualifies. Very easy application, one-page application. Client is not giving you any premium. Okay, so here's what I want you to understand on this. This is entirely no cost for the first year. They want to keep it in force longer. It's only $10 a year. Or simply rewrite it. But here's what you can do. You can put $3,000 of coverage on a principal insured and their spouse, $2,000 of coverage on any kid, $1,000 if they're not in Florida. Okay, but remember, this is a no-cost offer. You're not taking any premium dollars. So I'm going to give you an example. If you guys have any appointments coming up within the next week, and you're get appointed with us, bring this with you. Close the sale. Mr. and Mrs. Client, thank you for doing business with me. Now that you're a valued member of my clientele, I will allow you to sponsor up to 5 people for free coverage. Who would you recommend first? Put your head down and write. You have 5 hot referrals. This is how we're going to help you get warm market referrals and generate more business as soon as you're appointed with us. You guys can use this on any sales call that you want after you're appointed. As you can see, we're committed in multiple ways to helping you and grow. Tons of pre-approved advertising, back office support, free training to our director of new agent team, who very specifically with you guys is going to be Steve Syatt, who's on the call today. And we have some incentives for you guys as well. If you enjoyed this webinar at all, I want you to know this is just the tip of the iceberg. I know we covered a lot of information. After you're appointed, we really slow down, and then we're able to work hand in hand. Remember, you have access to our director of new agent teams through Steve Syatt. His one and only job is to work with new agents like yourselves, help you guys write business. Here's a sneak peek of the back office. So if you like this training, what you want to do is get online. You can do some specified training with us as often as you want. Click on the training tab. We're live today. So if you want to do a live webinar, we run about 15 a week. We do some live seminars as well. And we also do on-demand webinars. I know we're coming up against a very busy selling season. So we do about 40% of our business during AEP. You guys probably do a lot too. You're going to need access to training at any time. You're not going to be able to jump on scheduled webinars as often as you like. So for that very reason, I'm really going to highlight our on-demand webinars. They're accessible to you at a click of a button after you're appointed. You can do training anytime. Like I said, we do about 15 live sessions a week. You can do different topics that suit you and suit you best. You have the pick of the mill here. None of these are mandatory, but this is what's available to you after you're appointed. Don't forget, we do have e-applications available. We use iGo e-app. I think we all are familiar with the benefits of using an e-app. You can reach more prospects, write more business. Ultimately, you're making more money. Of course, you look professional while doing so. You cannot make a mistake on the iGo e-app. Underwriting starts immediately. Policies are issued quicker. You guys are then paid sooner. You can use this face-to-face, over the phone, or while doing screen sharing. The majority of our products are available on the e-application. We do different trainings throughout the week, Life and Medicare on Tuesdays, remote selling with screen sharing. If you want to do this with your clients, you want to get on our screen sharing training. We do this on Wednesdays. We repeat it on Fridays as well. Now we'll show you how to market your insurance business on Thursdays. You do not need E&O to get appointed with us. However, we all know that it is wise to have. So if you are looking for E&O, we do have coverage with 360 Coverage Pros at a very discounted rate. So if you're interested or if you need help with E&O after you're appointed, we can help you. There's also a fast start incentive for UA as well. So while you're within your first few weeks with us after getting appointed, if you issue business, you can earn an Amazon gift card. The specifics on that, $20, $40, or $60 are per policy issued. You can max it out at $1,200. And it's either going to be worth, like I said, $20, $40, or $60 per policy issued, depending on how many different categories you're writing in. Maxes out at $1,200. As we close today, let's just go ahead and recap. You're paid directly from the carrier. You're vested immediately. This is what we call a GA contract. You can build a team or stay a personal producer. You've got specified training after you're appointed. You're not captive. You've got some great tools to help you drum up business immediately. And you've got full access to our back office website, training, marketing, and more. All you have to do is locate that email from Agent Automation and simply take 5 minutes and get signed up with us. This is what it looks like coming into the inbox. All you have to do is make sure that it's formatted correctly, first, last name, resident state. Hopefully it has your email populated. Click accept, and it takes 5 minutes or less. Thank you so much, everybody. That concludes today's presentation. I will turn it over to Justin just in case he wants to close us out.
Yeah, thank you, Nikki, so much for taking your time today to present to this crew. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. We appreciate it. Everyone have a good day. If you have any questions or concerns, please reach out to your marketer here at Premier. And just a reminder, our number is 800-365-8208. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.